Hey, what's up, guys? Here on the Fire Sports Pod, where everything we got is hot. I'm your host, Zach Jackson. Here we got our co-host Irv back at it again with another show. We're here on Recap Monday for Season 6, Episode number 28 on the Fire Sports Pod. We are powered by StreamYard, where StreamYard makes the dream yard go. We got a bunch of stuff to talk to you guys on this podcast today. As we all know it, our first segment is going to be about the Los Angeles Lakers make one of the biggest blockbuster trades in NBA history as the Lakers and Mavericks agree to send Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis will be coming to Dallas with Maxi Christie and a 2029 first round pick. Coming to the Lakers is Luka plus Maxi Cleaver, Morris, and I believe in a pick too. So that will be coming, and then the Jazz get Scudafino and a second, a two or a second round pick from the Los Angeles Clippers. So there was a three team trade that happened yesterday morning at like 1 something in the morning. So we'll be going over that, our reactions to it. How will the Luka LeBron fit? Will he stay in Los Angeles or will he high ticket to somewhere else? On top of that, we'll also look into how the Anthony Davis will work with Kyrie Irving and Klay Thompson. And then finally, to our second segment on today's show, we're sticking with the NBA as we go over the Kings. We were saying it would be stupid for the Kings to let go somebody, and they were going to let go De'Aaron Fox. We're traded to the Spurs. The Spurs have got increasingly much better. They're looking for contention for a title relatively soon. But the Kings land star forward Zach LaVine. And there's more details into that trade. It's a 3-team trade as well. And then we'll be moving to the Golden State Warriors, who ended as the third segment, who ended their ties with trying to get Jimmy Butler to Golden State because he didn't really want to re-sign long term. And then last hurrah for the Warriors, Golden State is asking about every superstar on the market, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and Paul George, just to name a few. And then finally, we'll move to the NFL, where we'll have two combined segments for segment number 4, which will be Myles Garrett wants out of Cleveland. He just put that out there 3 hours ago after participating in the Pro Bowl yesterday. He is out of Cleveland, wants to be out of Cleveland, and to pursue a championship, a Super Bowl for his goal. And then on top of that, the Raiders land their offensive coordinator, our offensive coordinator for the Ohio State Buckeyes in Chip Kelly. How will that help them flourish into trying to become a better team? So we got a packed show for you guys, and we're going to try to get it done in the next 30 minutes. So let's get right into it. All right, Irv, what were your first thoughts coming out of the bloom, waking up in the morning on Sunday to hear that Luka was traded to the Los Angeles Lakers and Anthony Davis was given to the Dallas Mavericks?
Well, first off, when I saw this news, I was actually playing with one of my boys, and like we was on the game, and it was like 1 something in the morning, and I remember we were playing 2K, and then we were in the middle of a match, and all of a sudden I was like, "Yo, stop! Drop your controller right now, bro." He was like, "What happened?" I said, "The Mavs just traded Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis." And this blew up everywhere, bro. Like when I mean everywhere, bro, like all the news stations on Instagram already posted it. Like you have analysts that were up at this time talking about the trade, talking about how crazy it is. It was absolutely just it was
ESPN
insane.
went past their deadline.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. That ESPN went as far as to, still being up at that time and talking about, the trade and everything that's going on. Now, well, my opinion about this trade, the Mavericks have absolutely lost their chance to be title contenders. I don't care if AD is one of the best two-way players as a big. I'm sorry, but he's getting older. I mean, I know he's still playing at a high level, but if we're looking at this as long term, he's very injury prone. He's getting older. He's literally older than Luka. So they just traded a future superstar who's still at the prime of his career, the only issues that he's having is what? Weight. Even with all the weight that he's gaining and all of his cardio that that the team's concerned with, he's still balling at such a high level. Like he's a triple, like along with Jokic, he's another triple threat king in the NBA. So you just traded all of that offense for probably one of the best power forwards in the league right now. I mean, he's Davis has been playing out of position ever since he stepped into LA. I mean, except for that first year when they had Dwight Howard. But then ever since then, like he's been playing the five position a lot, and he's been getting a lot of injuries because he's been playing the five position. So in my opinion, I feel like the Mavericks really sold. I really think that the Lakers definitely benefit from this. And in my opinion, do I think LeBron might stay? I mean, I'm gonna talk about that more when it comes to when we talk about the Warriors segment. But for now, let's talk about Luka and LeBron. This is an amazing matchup. This is absolutely amazing. I mean, you have two of the smartest players in the NBA playing alongside each other. If Luka could try to utilize himself or to utilize LeBron James, the Lakers could be a serious problem. Now I know defensively they're sinking even more than how they should be, but I feel like after Vanderbilt is back from his injury, I really think that it's a little minor setback, but I think they'll kind of be okay. I mean, they do lose their two-way defender, but this was just absolutely insane. Good luck for the Mavs. I mean, I know Mavs fans are right now crying, especially in their sleep, because they just lost their star player. I mean, even Luka Doncic said it himself that he was surprised. A lot of reports are saying that he was even crying after he bought a $15 million home in Dallas because he thought he was going to stay there long term. So it's absolutely insane that's how no superstar is safe. No superstar is safe because they were considering him an untouchable. They were considering Anthony Davis an untouchable, and now all of a sudden they're getting they're getting traded like as if they were like the seventh player in their team or the sixth man or just a side character. You know what I mean? So again, love the trade for the Lakers. I do not like this trade for the Mavs. I think they just sold completely. And it's all about if Irving could really play at a very high offensive level. I know right now he's a little bit past the prime of his career, but I feel like he's still a bucket. I feel like he's still is going to get those points. And I feel like now that he's going to have the ball more in his hands, that duo, the defensive and offensive duo with Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving, I think is really going to work out in the Mavs. But again, huge loss for the Mavs, and that's just what I think about this trade so far.
All right, so now for me, I kind of agree on a little bit. The only thing I can say is that I was flabbergasted. The first thing that I went on was Instagram when I woke up. It was 8:00 in the morning. I was just going to try to get any stories to jump on the pod for today, as well as anything I had to cover yesterday. And all I keep hearing is Lakers traded away the Mavericks. Traded away Anthony Davis. I'm like, hell no. We just beat the shit out of the Knicks, beat them by 16 in MSG. LeBron had a triple-double, 33-point. AD congratulates them on a group chat. There's no way. And I keep looking and looking. Then I got ESPN notification, CBS notification 6 hours later. I was like, what the hell? There's no way we just did this. Now, as a Lakers fan, I'm actually upset. Why? Because we get a premier offensive player. This guy is the top 5 in the world. I think keep putting him at 5 is even a disgrace, to say the least. Luka's a beast, but he don't play defense, dude. He don't play defense. But the only person to get him right in the gym and to get him to play defense, I think, is LeBron James. So I'm cool with it. The difference is, man, we're 5th in the West. AD was balling, dude. He was giving us almost 30 a game. He's in MVP talks. Like, I get it, it's Luka, but we upgraded tremendously offensively, which we needed, but we downgraded terribly defensively with this move. The Mavericks, same thing, offensively plummeted, defensively uplifted. The good thing for me is that we got Maxi Cleaver, a big, shoot the ball, can play some good defense. Morris, who's actually on the championship team in 2020. He's back with LeBron again. But he's on the older side. Now, again, don't be surprised on the trade deadline. We don't get Jonas Valanciunas. I think that would be a monster move. Obviously, you can't replace Anthony Davis. No one can. But you can, you can at least replace the rim protector, the big man threat. And Jonas can shoot the ball. Got some good post moves, and you just need somebody that you can throw it down and trust. I don't know, man. I really don't know how I feel about this. I know I told my guys yesterday on TikTok I would have answers for you. I really still don't have answers. I don't know why we did this. I get it's Luka. He's 25. We didn't have an opportunity for the future anytime soon, and we did with this move, and I get it. But if you're going to not tell LeBron, tell AD, tell Luka about this, then there's something cooking. Now, we're going to get to it. Will we see a LeBron James departure from LA to Golden State, which he's been emphatic about for the last couple of years that he's wanted to play with Steph? Is this his shot? I don't know. A lot of people are going to say yes. A lot of people are going to say no. He did say, according to sources, that he is staying with LA no matter what. He also did put out an Instagram story last night saying, well, to my brother, go kill him there in Dallas. So I don't know if that's saying, hey, farewell. Hope you have a great season in Dallas. We'll stay here, hold down the fort in LA, or I'm moving. I'll see you soon, or like something like that. You know what I mean? Like behind the lines, within the lines type of thing. I don't know. But for right now, I think it was a bad and a good trade for both teams. I think defensively it was a horrible trade for the Lakers. I think offensively it was a great trade for the Lakers. I think defensively it was a great trade for the Mavericks. I think offensively it was a horrible trade for the Mavericks. But this just shows you Mark Cuban was there and had the full ownership of the team. This move does not get done. Not even close.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention that. I
He
was
even
just gonna
said
mention that.
he
Yeah,
even said
that.
that, hey, I'm as confused as everybody else is. That just shows you he doesn't have any really works about this team. The GM Harrison, I think, is an idiot. I really
Terrible.
do. I don't think you move away from Luka. I get his defense. I get his thing, but this guy's averaging 32. He's averaging 28.
He's averaging literally almost a triple double every single game.
And
Almost a
for
triple
his
double.
career, he's averaging 28, 8, and 8. I don't know how you get away from a 6'7" point guard that could shoot the ball like him, but nonetheless, I think both teams lost and gained a lot in this trade. We'll have to
And
see how they fit.
and yeah, and may I remind you, Zach, this is the same team, the same person that led the Mavs to beat, a bunch of Western Conference teams last season that were above the
He
50
beat all
the 50
the
game
numbers.
margin. He beat all of the best teams in the
Clippers,
West.
Timberwolves, OKC.
So you already made a finals run last time.
3 years
And then
later, before he went to the Western Conference against your Warriors in 2022.
So this man has already been to the finals and the Western Conference Finals, the finals, and when a bunch of superstars haven't been there yet, or have struggled to make it there yet, and yet you get rid of your wing defender in Jones, because Derek Jones was a great, he was a good
He was
defender
awesome.
for, he was
There.
athletic, he was a good pick and roll guy, he was a great defender.
He was
You
great there.
get rid of him, and then on top of that, now you're getting rid of Luka Doncic. Like, the Mavs are slowly, like, they're crumbling. They're really crumbling because, I mean, I get it. It's good for both sides because AD's a good defender in the paint. But I'm sorry, bro, but I'm not taking AD over Luka. I can't do that, bro.
That's why
Luka,
the Lakers said yes, because they thought it was
that's exactly that's
flabbergasting
so.
to
They were just flabbergasted because, bro, although Luka just played no defense, he led that Dallas Mavericks team to the finals and to
yeah.
the Western Conference Finals when they were significantly less.
And LeBron's
So,
made headlines that he always his favorite player right now was Luka. He always wanted
of
to play
course,
with Luka
of
to see
course,
to
of
see.
course.
Well, you got two of the best passers. The man is 6'7". He's a
I
blue.
know it's insane, bro. Of
And
course,
LeBron
LeBron
didn't
said
even
that.
know about it. So I don't care what anybody says.
I don't know about that. I
I
think he was
dude,
cooking something. I think LeBron was cooking
nah,
something,
I
man.
don't think so, dude. I really don't. Because to be honest, every time he got what he wanted, it's known. It's known. Every time. Every superstar has came his way, he has had a reason for it. Russell Westbrook moving to Cleveland back again, bringing on Wade and Bosh to Miami because they were supposed to go to Chicago. They were all this stuff. Anthony Davis, everything. Russell Westbrook. There was a bunch of shit. And guess what? It all had LeBron's fingertips on it. This one didn't. This one didn't. So that's the last we got to say about this trade. We'll have more in the coming days and weeks, and once we see Luka and LeBron play, AD and Kyrie and Klay Thompson play. But I think if it really just depends if Kyrie can take that next step again and be that number one guy, and he's not really the best at doing that. We saw that those years in Boston. Really was not the best. So we'll see what happens. But we're currently 15 minutes into the show. We'll be moving to our second segment where we'll be going over the Sacramento Kings trade last night, which was a massive 3-team trade. So we have, first up, the Sacramento Kings are finalizing a trade to send De'Aaron Fox to the San Antonio Spurs in a multi-team deal that ships Zach LaVine from the Chicago Bulls to Sacramento. Spurs get Fox and Jordan McLaughlin. Kings get LaVine, Sidney Sissoko, 3 first-round picks, a 2025 via the Hornets, a 2027 via the Spurs, and a 2031 via the Timberwolves. The Bulls get Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, their own 2025 first-round pick from the Spurs. So this is a massive, massive trade. Who would have thought that this trade went through? It is absolutely ridiculous on how this trade went through. We said it last week. This will be a dumb-ass move if the Kings would let go De'Aaron Fox. But now you pair DeMar DeRozan with his boy Zach LaVine again, with Domantas Sabonis, Malik Monk. I mean, they got a squad there in Sacramento, dude. And then the Spurs got Victor, De'Aaron Fox, Castle, Johnson, and Chris Paul. Got a squad there, dude. And the Kings got younger with 3 first-round picks. And the Bulls get a first-round pick with some young guys in Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, and Zach Collins. I think all 3 teams won this trade. I really do. I think the Bulls, yes, they got younger, which they desperately needed. They still have Lonzo there. They still have what's his name? A White there.
Kobe White.
So they got youth. They got Alex Caruso there. They got some vets. They got a good, solid, young/veteran group. It's not some big names other than Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso and Kobe White, but that's not a bad team there either. And then you still got Vucevic there. We don't know if he's going to be on the trade block for the trade deadline, but he's still there. So I think this is not a bad move. I really don't think for all 3 teams. I think the Kings definitely not upgraded, but I think they kind of just stayed the same. I think they upgraded with getting all these picks. Dude, they got 3 first-round picks, dude. 3. Which I think is absolutely crazy. 3 first-round picks. So.
Yo, who did you say who's going to the Kings? You said it was
LaVine, Sidney Sissoko. I can't say this last name. 3 first-round picks, a 2025 via the Hornets, a 2027 via the Spurs, and a 2031 via the Timberwolves. That's going to the Kings. The Bulls get Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, and their own 2025 first-round pick from the Spurs. The Spurs get Fox and Jordan McLaughlin.
Okay.
I don't think it's bad. I really don't. I don't think any team lost this trade. I really don't. If you look at it.
Yeah. So like to give my opinion about the trade, to give my opinion about like the trade, I really think I don't think the Bulls kind of won in this. I mean, I feel like they won because of they got first round picks, did they not?
Yeah, they got a first round pick.
So
and they got a point shooter.
I mean, yeah, I get it. You got Kevin Huerter, expand the floor. I mean, you're kind of replacing. I feel like you're kind of replacing LaVine 3-point shooting, except LaVine's just a little bit more athletic, and he was able to drive to the basket and dunk the ball when he needed to. Very athletic, speedy guy. Um, I mean, I guess the Bulls are still good. I mean, they still have Lonzo Ball. They still have Vucevic, who, like you said, might be in the trade deadline if the Bulls don't do anything. They still have Kobe White. You know, I mean, I really like I what I truly like is the Kings and Spurs trade, where the Kings, the only reason why they traded Fox, in my opinion, was probably because of injuries and longevity. Now, I know Fox has been very like consistent when it comes to when it comes to playing, in probably every game, all the playoff games and stuff. But recently, he's been dealing with a lot of injuries this past season, and I feel like they wanted maybe a star that's. I mean, Levine is also very injury prone as well. He was out for a couple of games this season, but even then, even when he's really healthy, he's still a baller. So I feel like you're pairing an ISO type of guard to with Sabonis, who's a really good playmaking big, who can really, I guess, make Levine even better because I think it was the same how Vucevic was in the Bulls for Levine, but I really think that Sabonis would definitely make Levine a much better player, and I feel like the Kings were also looking for shooting, and you know even though Fox's playmaking played a huge factor in the Kings' success. They also have like their shooting, and with Kevin Herter being out and King and Murray being the only 3-point shooter in the team, you know what I mean? I feel like they expand more of their offensive weapons. But the team of the hour, the team of teams at this point was the Spurs. How did they land the Aaron Fox? I don't know.
And only giving up
They only gave up. They didn't
the
even give up a lot. They gave up Zach Collins. They gave
Trey
up, I think,
Jones
Trey. They gave up Trey Jones and first round picks.
and two first round picks.
Like you're telling me that's how much Fox is worth?
Hell no.
That's why I'm saying like the Bulls. I feel like, in my opinion, the Bulls necessarily in this three-way did not really win. I think, and I feel like they didn't even get the first round picks. They only got one of them. They didn't get like two. They
No,
only
they got
got
two
one. They got two first round. Okay,
from
well,
the Spurs.
but
Yeah, they got two from the Spurs.
well,
They got
still,
they got the they got the Kings got the Bulls. The Bulls got
yeah,
a first round pick from the Spurs, and the Kings got a 2027 first round pick from the Spurs. But that's all they gave up with Trey Jones and Zach Collins.
yeah. So I honestly don't think Fox was worth that little.
Yeah, no.
Because he's an all-star caliber player, really good
He
point
led
guard.
that team to the playoffs against your Warriors. Remember that Game 7 heroic
Yeah, I think it was
Steph Curry?
back-to-back seasons as well. Because I think
No,
the
they went to the
season,
playoffs and then they went to the play-in and then they got bounced.
yeah, but I think they beat us in the play-in. I think they were the ones who eliminated us in the play-in that
Last
one
year,
year.
yes. Last year, yes.
So when you really think about these pieces, you have a true point guard that could collide and be good with Wembayama. If you put Fox's elite playmaking, who can kind of be a good shot creator for Wembayama, it's going to be it's crazy. And then you also have all-star talent. He's an all-star, so you pair him up with Wemby being at the prime of his career. You know what I mean? It's absolutely insane. And then you also pair him up with CP3, one of the smartest guys in basketball, who every point guard that he touches, he just creates a better person. He did the same thing with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. He did the same thing when he was over there with the Suns with Devin Booker. And then now it's Darren Fox's turn. And I know Darren Fox was good even before CP3, but imagine with CP3 now as a teammate. This is
Yeah.
it's incredible, bro. It's crazy. So my personal opinion, the Spurs absolutely won the trades yesterday. I mean, I know Lakers picking up Luka, but honestly, bro, I really think that the Spurs kind of won more because of the pieces that they have and because it's going to be really scary. I mean, for me, it's really iffy because I'm still waiting for LeBron, see where he goes, if he
Yep.
gets traded or not. If he doesn't get traded, then maybe the Lakers did win the trade of the night. You know what I mean? But for now, until we hear more about LeBron, I'm taking the Spurs to win the trade of the night here.
Yeah,
Really
no,
good.
I completely agree. I got you with that one. All right, so now we are going to transition to our third segment on today's show. We got about 10 more minutes, so let's wrap this up. And this is about your Warriors. So, Golden State, we all know, been trying to get Mr. Jimmy Buckets, and they have parted their ways when it comes to it. Because the only reason why they weren't going to go all in is because Jimmy did not want to sign a long-term contract. He's already 35. I didn't really think that he was going to sign that anyways. I don't think he even wants to go to Golden State. I think what he wants to go is go to Golden State for a year and then go to Phoenix. So I think his team is Phoenix. I really think he wants to go to Phoenix. I just think that I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. I don't think it's going to happen because of the fact of the matter is they got to move Bradley Beal. And if they don't move Bradley Beal, then who knows? And that was the case. If Bradley Beal was going to get moved, it would have been that trade that happened yesterday, but that didn't happen. So it doesn't look like I think Jimmy's going to stay with Miami for this year, and then we'll see what happens in the offseason after this coming year. But for Golden State, the Warriors are right now 24-24 on the season, but the record doesn't quite do justice of how far out of a championship picture they are in their current state. They are started the season 9-2. They were at 12-2, but are 13-22 since. Their net rating in that span is minus 3.7. What's more distressing is they aren't even dominating the Steph Curry minutes anymore. He is net rating a plus minus 2.8, suggests that even at their best, the Warriors are only around the average team. That's according to CBS Sports right here, not just me.
Yeah, that's definitely accurate, but we haven't been playing the best basketball recently.
They badly want to change that with Curry nearing his 37th birthday. Golden State has a limited window, but one last contender around him before the end of his legendary career. It seems though they are doing everything in their power to just do that. ESPN Shams Charania said Monday on Pat McAfee's show they are legitimately calling every all-star player ahead of the NBA trade deadline on Thursday. 3 players named specifically: LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Paul George. We said that earlier in the start of the podcast. Now, James would be the hardest one of the 3 to acquire simply because he has a no trade clause and he can veto any trade. And according to Chris Haynes, he plans to finish the season in Los Angeles. That was what I told you earlier, that's according to Chris Haynes. And Chris Haynes, it's a rarity that he's wrong, if not anytime. He's never really wrong when it comes to that. And it comes to LeBron.
No, he's a very accurate person,
Pretty
especially
accurate,
LeBron James.
Exactly.
Especially with LeBron.
He plans to finish with LA. The Warriors pursued a James trade last deadline, but when the Lakers reached out to him to gauge his interest in a deal, he told them he preferred to remain in Los Angeles. Why? His family's there. His son's going to Arizona. His Bronny's now on the team. It's going to be hard for him to move. He told them he preferred to remain in Los Angeles until there is some indication that he is open-minded about a move. The assumption should be that he will stay with the Lakers. So in that case, he's out for the Warriors. Now, bringing Durant back to the Bay would be expensive, but according to Jake Fisher, the Suns are at least listening to pitches from other teams and have a level of interest in Warriors forward Jonathan Kuminga. So you bring Kevin Durant back, you lose Jonathan Kuminga, but you could get a championship out of it. Durant spent 3 seasons with the Warriors and never missed an NBA Finals while there. If Golden State could get him, it could change their fortunes dramatically. They tried to land Paul George before they became unrestricted free agent this offseason, but the Clippers would not agree to a trade that included a bad salary. Now George is having an up-and-down first season with the Philadelphia 76ers and is on a 4-year max deal looms as a potential dangerous. There has been no reporting suggesting that the 76ers would trade him, but for the right price, doing so might make sense. All right. For the next 2 minutes, Irv, give me your best case scenario for the Golden State Warriors and if they can land Paul George, LeBron James, or Kevin Durant. And which superstar would you rather in the next 2 minutes? Give me your best take.
All right. Sorry, because I just had to move spots real quick.
You're good.
Okay. Well, I mean, you already know that and during the Olympics, you have those three dudes, the three veterans working together to win a championship. They all contributed just as much to reach the level that they reached. I mean, you had stars like Tyrese Halliburton and Jason Tatum that didn't even play decent minutes. I think Tyrese actually didn't even play 1 minute when he was in the Olympic squad because of how good Steph Curry was doing, how good KD was doing, how good LeBron was doing. Like, you already know the chemistry between the three. And if I'm not mistaken, there has been many news outlets. I don't know if these are just Warrior outlets or not, but there's a potential that they're trying to possibly combine LeBron and KD to come straight to the Warriors. So it's very difficult to really put into words how crazy I am. I mean, bro, being a Warriors fan has not been good so far. I mean, we win like a game, Curry drops like 30, then the next game, like we just lose by like 20 points. Like it's very inconsistent. We are a mid-level team in the West, and I think in the NBA we are a mid-level team as well. So for me, in my opinion, I think the smartest trade right now would probably just to aim for KD, but would have to sacrifice our future, which would be Jonathan
Jonathan.
Mingo. And sadly, bro, I don't know if I'm ready for that. I really don't. I mean, they were willing to give up Jonathan Kuminga for Jimmy Butler, and that I would have been upset about. But for KD, I mean, like you said, bro, we made it. We made it to four, I believe, four straight, three straight, no, three straight NBA finals. We could have three-peated. We went to three NBA finals straight with KD. But that was also with a whole nother team that's definitely better than now. But I feel like we still have the pieces, the offensive pieces to make it to the NBA finals if we had KD. Now, it's going to be very different because Steph needs another person because he's getting triple teamed every single time. All I know is that I feel like the last solution, the last resort would be to get Paul George from 76ers, and I don't like that trade at all. I know Paul George is a really good basketball player, playing basketball at the highest level. I know he's stuck in a bad situation there in 76ers, but in my personal opinion, I do not want Paul George. I get it, he's a scorer, but yeah, no. So the best person in my idea would probably be KD. Least person would probably be Paul George in this situation.
All right, so that's coming from straight from a Warriors fan. You got your Irv, our boy Irv's take on that. Me, I personally think that I would have to agree with him. I think that the best probably bet is to get Kevin Durant. Again, as a Laker fan, I don't want LeBron moving. I think I want him to retire as a Lakers. Obviously now he's got Luka. We'll see what happens with that. And if he does go to Steph Curry and the Warriors, then he does. I just think that it just depends. We'll see. But I think he finishes out the season with the Lakers. We're fifth in the West. There's no reason for him to move. There really isn't. You're fifth in the West. You just smack the Knicks, who are the third best team in the East, or the second best team in the East record-wise in general, in MSG. So I don't think you move from there. But now for our final segment on today's show, for the next 4 minutes or so, we'll be going over some NFL talk. We got Myles Garrett. He has requested a trade, ladies and gentlemen. This happened today, about 4 hours ago. The Cleveland Browns star pass rusher announced his request in a statement on Monday, acknowledging his admiring to trying to win a Super Bowl. And he thinks he can't win it in Cleveland. And I'm going to second him. He ain't winning nothing.
Yeah, no, I'm
No.
a third him. He's not winning it. I'm not. He's not winning it in Cleveland.
Bro, he had
That's for
his shot.
sure.
He had his shot when they versed Kansas City with Baker Mayfield and the backup quarterback ran for fourth
Such a
down.
squad.
No, they had a squad there. That was the one. After that, bananas. They suck right now. So as a kid, he dreamt of the NFL, all focused on one ultimate goal and winning a Super Bowl. And the goal fuels me today for than ever, Garrett said in a statement. But he just thinks that even though he loves Cleveland, he loves the dog pound, it ain't looking like they're going to be doing anything time soon. So I can agree with that. Deshaun Watson doesn't look like he's coming back. this year because he tore his Achilles again, the same one that he tore before. So
Oh,
he got another rehab with that. So that's going to take a long lefty thing. So yeah, that was that. I don't know how to take it. I think I agree with him. He's put his heart, blood, sweat, and tears to the Browns, and they have done shit for him. So to be honest, I'm cool with that. Where I think he could go, that's another question. Where I think I know somebody who's going to be an asshole to the entire NFL who's going to pick him up, probably the 49ers. They got every good defensive player. They're probably going to pick him up. Or I could see Detroit picking him up. Him and Aiden Hutchinson coming together. After the way their defense played this year, that would be something.
I was gonna say, bro, because the Lions had even crossed my mind. The Lions would have been such a good pickup. If you want to know what's also brewing in my head, bro?
Hmm.
Two teams.
What are those two teams?
Now we got the Ravens. I
Oh,
think
yeah, they need
the
some.
Ravens. I mean, the Ravens would be a great pickup. I mean, the Ravens have been the top three, top five defense. I mean, this season obviously first half was terrible, but second half they showed that they're a top five defense of the league.
Yeah.
And another one, because they are championship contenders, they just need to pass that Kansas City hump. Buffalo Bills. Now,
Ooh, him
why
and
would I
Buffalo
say
Bills too.
why would I say Buffalo? Because their defense is weak, and I feel like if you bring his presence to the defensive
Oh,
line, that
and
would
they played
be
well enough to
something.
beat Kansas City. They just needed that one guy to get
They
that
just
back.
need they just needed that one defensive dude. They just needed the defense. That's it.
Yeah.
And sorry, but the defensive line was not rushing, in my opinion, was not pressuring Mahomes as they were supposed to.
Their offensive line is not the best compared
And
to Kansas
yeah,
City. So
yeah.
I could agree. I didn't even think about Buffalo. I was thinking about the Ravens.
That's like a dark horse though. I like that Lions pick though. That Lions
I
that
think
Lions
him and
pickup would
Aiden
be
Hutchinson.
scary. Hutchinson and Garrett at the side, that would be
That'll be
scary, bro.
nuts. So yeah,
That's definitely a dark horse.
that's our predictions for where Garrett might go, where he should go, maybe where best fits, and where he can help a team and get his Super Bowl ring that he wants so badly. And then finally, guys, national champions, Ohio State Buckeyes. We did it. We supposed to do it. We finally did it. We spent like $20 million on this roster this year. We got it done. But our offensive coordinator, Chip Kelly, is high talent. It's back to the NFL. He spent 8 years in the NFL. He is back as the Las Vegas Raiders offensive coordinator under new head coach Pete Carroll. We said Pete Carroll was going to do some magic, and he brought in a really good offensive coordinator in Chip Kelly, and I can't wait to see what he's got. But they got to put some pieces around him because they got two players, Brock Bowers and
Crosby.
Max Crosby. So you got to put more guys around there. And you got to give them a quarterback. So we'll
It's
see what they do
definitely
in the draft.
definitely we're gonna see in the draft. We're definitely
Yep.
gonna see how it's gonna impact in the draft.
So will the Raiders, Kelly, will be the highest paid coordinator in the NFL at $6 million per year. So they giving him money.
The
They giving
highest paid coordinator.
coordinator in the NFL, $6 million per year, according to Sports Illustrated. The hire is Kelly's first foray into the NFL since the San Francisco 49ers fired him as the head coach after the 2016 season. This will be Kelly's first coordinator job in the NFL, as he only held league positions as a head coach, 3 with the Eagles and 1 with the 49ers. So there you go. He is going to be the highest paid coordinator in the NFL for the Las Vegas Raiders as the offensive coordinator to come in this year with Pete Carroll. It's going to be a gem. We'll see what happens. I personally think it's a great pickup. I know Irv does as well.
Yeah, that was a really good pickup. Yep.
But that's pretty much it, guys. If Irv's got anything else to say, I'll let him go over the floor. If not, that's pretty much it for the show.
No, I mean, I've said it here, and I said it in multiple podcasts. They just need to. I need to see who they're gonna pick up in the draft. If they could
Yep.
pick up a good person in the draft that could probably lead a team. I mean, I know it's a lot of pressure, especially since the Raiders are now going all out and getting Pete Carroll and getting, Chip Kelly. We're about to see, honestly. We're about to see. And hopefully, the Raiders can rise up from this and then start spending their money on weapons that they could use during this offseason.
I agree. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it for the show here today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We had a packed show here on Recap Monday, Season 6, Episode number 28 on the Fire Sports Pod. I'm your host, Zach Jackson. This is our co-host, Irv, back at it again with another episode. We are powered by StreamYard, where StreamYard makes the dream yard go. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Most likely we'll have my Professor Keith Green will be coming on Wednesday at 2:30. So we'll be having you guys on that show. It was a great show for you all. And we'll be back on TikTok Live on that Wednesday. So we'll see you all then. Peace out, guys. Have a great rest of your Monday, and I'll catch you guys on Wednesday.